13 dead. Secretary of Homeland Security Jay Johnson just wrapped up his comments on the deadly floods and recovery efforts underway in the southern part of Louisiana. And as I mentioned, the death toll has risen. Yesterday it was 11, now 13. Tens of thousands of residents displaced, running for their lives, trying to swim to safety. Look, the candidates overall have stayed silent about the devastation. Well, what about the Green Party nominee, Dr. Jill Stein? Dr. Stein joins me now not only to discuss the silence from these candidates and the situation, but also her stance on taxes, jobs, free college. Let me start with Louisiana. You among them have not gone. You have not weighed in. I need to know from you, what are your plans to help these people in the immediate term? I know you believe climate change probably caused this. We could argue till the cows come home about that. But what are your plans for immediately mobilizing to help hundreds of thousands of people get back on their feet?
Yes. So not only do we need the FEMA and the insurance support and the financial relief, but people need physical relief right now. It's really awful that tens of thousands of people have really been stranded, have been waiting for rescues. You know, we needed to have had a much quicker and robust rescue effort. And unfortunately, what's happening in Louisiana is exactly what is predicted. This is like echoes of Katrina, like echoes of Superstorm Sandy. Unfortunately, these big, unprecedented, historic storms are exactly what we expect. And remember, it's not just the storms in Louisiana. It's 100,000 people now on the West Coast who are fleeing the fires because of the drought and the prolonged and extreme heat. This is exactly what we expect, as every month now is setting a new climate for a new record for heat.
Well, you have said that climate change is the cause of many of these problems. There are people who totally disagree with you, others who agree with you. However, what is your plan to mitigate, if you do believe that, these issues that we are starting to see, and where would you get the money to do that?
So as a scientist, I will say that nearly all scientists agree. The ones who don't agree tend to be the ones who are on the payroll of the fossil fuel industry or are serving as spokespeople for them. But among scientists, there's about a 99% agreement that this is climate change, this is related to fossil fuel production, and the solution is actually a wonderful solution for our economy, which is also in its own state of crisis, where, you know, the recovery has gone on for the top couple of percent, but everyday people are really struggling to survive. So we're calling for a jobs program like the New Deal that got us out of the Great Depression. We're calling for a Green New Deal that will actually create jobs. Talk about small businesses. This will actually put national dollars at the discretion of local communities to become sustainable for energy, for food production, for public transportation, so we can zero out fossil fuels in the time frame that we must do in order to survive.
I've covered the solar industry for a long time. It is a boom and bust cycle. It becomes commoditized. The Chinese are dumping solar panels right and left here that are much cheaper.
We need to provide the kind of support that China is providing for its solar industry.
Well, we are giving incentives, and there are some people who say we can't afford to do that. But let me move to your position on free college. You take it a step further than Hillary. You say not debt-free, but free public university for anybody who wants it. I went to a public university. I went to UC Berkeley. I ask you, Dr. Stein, who is going to pay the professors? Who's going to pay the dorm fees? Who's going to pay the parking attendants? These things don't simply run on their own.
That's right. And isn't it amazing? I don't know about your generation, but my generation actually had access to free public higher education. And why have the costs skyrocketed? Largely because of administrative bureaucracy, because of sports centers, because of new arenas. Not really the cost of education. So we need to provide a college education for our young people. So here's the deal. We know from the GI Bill, because remember what happened after the Second World War?
We
actually paid for our vets to go to college, and for every dollar we put in, and Congress was keeping track, we got back $7 in return in improved revenues and other public benefits. So this is an investment that pays for itself 700%. On the question of canceling debt, which is what I also call for, because we have a generation now that cannot repay that debt. They don't have a future.
1.3 trillion.
They are living with their parents.
So how do you cancel that debt?
How do you cancel? You basically have the Federal Reserve buy it up. Remember
Print
this.
more money?
So
More?
let me tell you, we bailed out Wall Street, right, to the tune of about $17 trillion. We made that money available in the blink of an eye.
But
when
Wall
it was
Street,
needed.
Dr. Stein, Wall Street paid it back
because
with
they could.
interest.
And they did, because Wall Street got zero interest loans, close to zero, and they can loan it out. Wall Street is in a position to rake in the dough in order to pay those loans back. But our young people, they are not in a position to pay it back because Wall Street crashed the economy, yet we bailed out the guys whose waste, fraud, and abuse led to that Wall Street meltdown. What about the people who are the victims of that?
You're a spoiler because you speak more to a Hillary follower, and yet you're only polling at 5%. You know, this is just a fact. How are you going to feel if you spoil it in close states for Hillary Clinton? Because
right
Donald
now,
Trump probably loves you. He thinks you're probably great because you'll be a spoiler.
Most of Donald Trump's supporters don't actually want to be supporting him. The polls show the majority of Trump supporters, actually, their main reason is that they don't like Hillary. So if you look at the breakdown of our supporters, they're coming from across the political spectrum, because I'm the only candidate that's not poisoned by the money of lobbyists, super PACs, and corporations. And this is what the American people want. They want an honest broker. They don't want a candidate who's actually in the pocket of the big money special interests. So this is something that unites us across the political spectrum. People want real democracy. And I'm the one candidate that actually has the liberty to stand up for what everyday people need. Not just the, you know, Hillary Clinton is the advocate for the billionaire club. Donald Trump is a member of the billionaire club who abuses his workers,
well,
who
we like money
jobs
here.
overseas.
As a business network, we actually like success and like money, but
you want it to work for everyone. Because if it's only working for
socialism.
a few, I don't think so. That's an economy
not
which is
everybody
productive.
Well, I mean, we could get to that point.
And right now we have an economy that can't really sustain itself. It is stuck in a rut right now because we've lost our productive economy. We need to bring it back. That's what our Green New Deal will do.
Jill Stein, thank you. There's so much more we have to talk about. I was really ready to hit you on the estate tax, but we've run out of time because of all the breaking news. But thank you. Please come back.
Thank you.